Hey all, Sean here, back again with another edition of Game On Cards and Collectibles. So, collecting and strategy and the how you collect, it's constantly evolving, it's organic, and that's something I've been doing for a long, long time. One of the things that I've been thinking about lately is, looking at some of my cards and kind of, I don't know if I want to say scrutinizing, but just kind of realizing that a couple of these cards that I have in my PC just don't really make sense for what I'm trying to accomplish. And I'll put those cards here on the screen so you guys can take a look at them that I recently moved on from. And you might be wondering, why as a Cub collector of Cubs, especially guys like Andre Dawson and Dansby Swanson, why all stars and some well-known players. Why would I be moving on from them? And it's not because of the player specifically, not at all. It's really more about the type of cards that I want to collect and have in my PC. And as a player collector, although that is a very important aspect of my collection, it really comes down to the team and being a Cub fan is of the utmost importance. That comes first before the player. And so I wanted to just jump on today to kind of explain and maybe as you're collecting, maybe you're kind of asking yourself the same type of questions and really just trying to curate your own collection in the way that suits you, that really tells the story of how you collect and who you collect, why you collect what you do. With that in mind, as I said, I moved on from these two cards in particular, and I'm going to continue to go through my collection and look at cards that just really don't fit what I'm trying to accomplish. But at the same time, I really do want, in particular, I do want to have an Andre Dawson card, but that just isn't the right one for me. Like I said, the team truly matters, and I have no association with the Expos. I have no tie or connection with the Braves. So I had to move on from these cards. Although they're rookie cards, and rookie cards are one of the fundamental types of collecting, I just don't have a connection with these cards. So I moved on. And I sold those cards off. And then I thought, well, what do I want? I want an Andre Dawson card in particular. Dansby's a current player with the Cubs. Although he's a great fielder, he's an all-star. It just, I'm gonna hold off on Dansby for now. His fielding is fantastic, but he's been struggling at the plate. Never really been known as a big time hitter, and that's fine. I collect Nico Horner, so I get that. It's doesn't necessarily have to be that particular type of attribute doesn't have to be the reason why I collect someone. But back to Andre Dawson, and so I wanted to get a card that kind of more suits my collecting style. So I'll show you the one I picked up in replace of the two that I sold off. And that's this guy right here. So this is the 1987 Fleer, Andre Dawson. A card that this has got to be like his 10th year card. So nothing specific about the card. Although I will say one of the attributes that I did like about this card is that it's a color match with the blue. That set from that year is, all the cards are blue. They kind of fade to that white there at the bottom. And yeah, this card's off center. It's not in the best of shape. It's fine. I mean, eye appeal's decent, but I've always wanted to have an Andre Dawson card in my collection. Just the rookie card wasn't the right one for me. And this, he's got one of the best signatures out of any player. It's just a fantastic signature, and he really takes his time when he autographs. And he does a lot of autographs. His autographs are plentiful. You can find them all over on the aftermarket online and eBay and what have you. But I really wanted one that kind of represents my story and my collecting journey. And what this one does, I mean, first of all, like I said, it does have the team color match. But in 87 was an important year for Andre Dawson in particular. He was the MVP of the league. One of the few MVPs that, comes from a team that didn't play very well that year. Not only was Andre Dawson the MVP for 1987, this is the first year that I started collecting cards. So this particular card has multiple boxes that are checked, and it's it's Beckett graded autographed. So yeah, it's not a particular valuable card, but it's the right card for my PC, and it makes sense to have this card in my PC rather than the rookie. And so that was the move that I made. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of Dansby Swanson card I've got, what I want to get. Obviously, I do want one of him on the Cubs, and I'm looking at some different options. But the more recent ones that are more rare are still pretty expensive. People are asking a lot of money, so I'm probably going to wait on Dansby Swanson, and we'll see how that kind of plays out. But this is the card that I kind of moved the other cards away from, moved off the other cards to acquire that one. So I'm really excited to have that one as my Andre Dawson card within my PC. Another thing I wanted to mention too is I talked about how the team matters, and having a card from the team while they played for the team is important to me. It's not necessarily always 100% the case, and I brought a couple examples up. I have a couple cards that don't necessarily all fit that, but that I make exceptions for. So here's one that I've talked about in the past. This is, since I'm a Nico player PC, this card right here, he's not only autographed, but he inscribed with his first MLB home run, 9/13/19. This is a Leaf card, which doesn't have the Major League Baseball license. And so this is an unlicensed card, so it won't have any type of Cubs information on it, other than it might say Chicago. But this is an exception because there's just so many other cool things about this card that kind of overrides the team factor. And then I've got another one here. Same player, Nico Hoerner. Another one of my favorite cards that don't say Cubs anywhere. Doesn't say Cubs anywhere on this. And this is the Team USA 15U card. Again, this one, just because of all the cool attributes about this card. First of all, it might be his earliest his earliest card. As a 15U. This is from 2012. It's also a Team USA, so it's still my team in a different way. Also, what's cool about this card is that the authentic material. This is actually, it says right here, this enclosed game-worn material, and that's key. The word game-worn is on there. And so there's just too many cool things about this card that having the Cubs logo or being associated with the team doesn't necessarily have to apply. So those are the collecting updates that I want to share with you guys. I hope that that helps you kind of look at your collection, what you're doing, or maybe you've already passed this point and you've just and you've gone in that direction for a while. So please leave a comment and let me know how your collecting has changed over time. And we'll see you guys back here real soon. Take care, everybody.